Run, river, run, run through the hills. Run, river, run to the sea. Run, river, run to your place beneath the sun. Run, river, run.
Hi, this is Jan Lewis. Welcome to be my guest. Today we have from Paxton, we have a vocalist with us, and I read a great article about her in the 50 Plus Advocate. Jean Mancini Gough. I said it correct?
You did.
Jeannie. We were wondering where Jeannie was, but you got here safely. That's the main thing.
Yes, I took a wrong turn and ended up somewhere else.
All right. Now, Jeannie, you are from Paxton.
I am.
This is a humongous article. Did you know that they were going to do this?
Yes, I did.
They asked your permission?
Yes. The gentleman that wrote the article called me on the phone. Actually, I got an email probably 5-6 months ago.
Yeah.
Why would I be interested in being featured? I said, sure.
Why not?
Yeah.
Now, you started this interest back in school.
Yes.
How old were you back in elementary or high school?
Well, I came from I wouldn't say a musical family as far as professional musicians, but I came from a music-loving family for sure.
Yeah.
My mom loved to sing, my dad played guitar, my brothers both played guitars. I have had a dear uncle who was a musician that I was influenced quite a bit by him. And so music was just all around, and I just loved music from an early age.
So when you graduated high school?
Yeah.
Were you raised in Paxton?
No, I grew up actually in Oxford, Mass.
Oh, well, that's a nice town.
Yeah.
So you went. Where did you go to college from there?
Actually, I went off to school. I went to Worcester State College for a year and had no idea what I was doing.
Oh, I didn't either.
My father said, "You've got to go to school."
Yeah,
I said,
yeah.
"Okay, Dad." So I went to Worcester State for a year and left. I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Did what I did.
Did I?
Yeah. I think I stayed about 2 years, and I'd had it. I'm like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
I want to do something else, but I don't know what it is.
Right.
My father was not happy.
Yeah. So I left school and I started to study voice and take piano lessons and all that. I had done a little bit in high school, but I had gone through high school doing music all the way through, but I thought, what am I going to do with music at that point? I thought, I have to do something concrete with my life.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, after leaving Worcester State, I got serious and started studying voice and piano, and then a couple of years later, I applied for school, and I went locally. I went to Anna Maria College and studied classical voice.
You were only 22.
I was 22, yes.
At Anna Maria College, and you got your bachelor's degree in vocal performance and music education.
I did.
4 years of that.
I did 4 years,
Now, what happened after that? I mentioned Worcester Polytech. Ruth Cooper.
Oh,
your mentor?
Okay. Actually, so I graduated Anna Maria, and I had a performance degree. At that point, I didn't want to go into music ed. I didn't want to teach at that point, so I taught privately.
Yeah.
And I had a nice home studio at my home, and had lots of students, and I was performing as much as I could, freelance, whatever came along, and then I decided that I would start raising a family with my husband.
How many kids do you have?
I have 2 kids.
How, are they in their 20s?
They're grown now. They're around 30.
Okay.
Yeah. And so when I actually, I don't know how many years after I graduated from Anna Maria, but I was looking for a voice teacher, and there were 2 new teachers in town, and I was directed to Ruth Cooper.
Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah, and I studied with her for a long time. She and I became best friends, and she mentored me really without even realizing that she was.
I didn't know they had music professors at Worcester Polytech.
They do. They do. I studied with her privately. She did teach at Worcester Tech, but WPI. But I studied with her outside of Worcester Tech. But I did a lot of concerts and things there with her.
How long were you working with her?
Oh boy! I would say 15 years plus.
You were so lucky to find a good mentor.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's like,
yeah.
It's not as easy for the younger kids to do this.
Right. And she let me go and sit in on her lessons and watch her as she was teaching, and I would pick her brain and ask her, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
And she was just really wonderful in that way. And
You still in touch with her?
we still keep in touch. She lives up in the Amherst area now, and she's in her 90s now.
She's only in her 90s.
She's only in her 90s.
Going strong?
She's doing well. Yeah.
That's good. Does she still get into music at all?
She's not teaching anymore,
No.
but she still enjoys music and as much as she can involves herself with it.
All right, now, in 1994 to right now, you worked as a soprano soloist and section
Yes.
lead with the First Unitarian Festival Choir in Worcester. What was that
Yes.
all about?
Well, I'm still doing that. It's a church job that I've had for years and years and years. And we do wonderful music, and we have a great leader there, our choir director and director of music, Will Sherwood. And we do, I've had other church jobs, but this one has been special because we've been able to do many different genres of music, not just sacred classical music. We do jazz and gospel and new age.
How about
and-
rock? The rock?
No, we don't really.
Nothing like Kiss or anything like that.
No, nothing like that.
Okay.
No, nothing like that. And so I've been there a long, long time.
And for the holidays, they do this for the holidays. For Christmas, that's it, right?
Oh no. This,
they do it
this is all
on
year.
All year long.
All year, except for the summers. They don't have the big choir in the summer.
Trying to think in the Unitarian Church in Westboro, right?
Mm.
I know exactly. It's across from the Catholic Church, St. Mary. Or, is it St. Mary or Luke's? St. Luke's.
I don't know. This is in Worcester. This is
Oh,
in
okay.
Westboro.
All right. I'm trying to think where is the Unitarian Church in Worcester?
It is right downtown next to the old courthouse.
Oh, I should know
So
that.
if
It's
you're
big.
Yep, with the big white spire.
I thought that was the Methodist one. There is a big one, all brick. Is it dark?
Next door is Wesley Methodist Church.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yep.
You shows how much I know about Worcester. Now, when you were in your early 40s, which she still probably is. Now,
am.
Mancini's are first of all, before I ask you that question, where did you get that beautiful name?
From my dad.
Is it after the instrumentalist?
No. My father's family, my grandparents came from Italy, and so that's where
was it?
That's where my name comes from.
Were you
Yeah.
the only child?
Oh no. I'm the youngest of 4.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So you were the youngest. Do the other ones have a musical inclination?
Both of my brothers do.
Both of your brothers.
Yeah, they both are amateur guitarists, and they still play guitar and have a lot of fun with it.
Oh, so you had it. I mean, before I forget, now Mancini, how can people get in touch with you if they'd like to learn more about what you're doing? You're teaching,
I
right?
have a website.
Go for it.
And you'll find it under www.GeneManciniGough.com.
Gough. Gough.
Right. I think you can even put in Gene Gough and it will pop up.
Now, all right, back. You had your master's degree in music education from UMass Amherst. From 1998 till now, you've worked as a classroom music teacher with a Wachusett School District.
Right.
What grades are you teaching?
Right now I'm working with the little ones, K1 and 2.
Oh,
But I've worked all of the ages, but primarily have been in elementary school.
do they still do? We used to call them the flutophone.
They
Now
do
it's-
recorders. I don't have to do those. I don't have to do those. They do those at.
Why did they change the name from? We called it flutophone.
It's a whole different instrument now. They use a recorder.
What's that mean?
Flutophone was more of a
You could take the nose of it off.
it was more the structure of it and the looks of it was more of a recorder is a real instrument. Recorders back in the Renaissance days. Back then there were wooden instruments and different sizes. So the recorder is more of a real instrument than a flutophone.
I remember thinking that flutophone was pretty real. We had to
Yeah.
really learn how
You do, but
Yeah.
a recorder, you get a better sound with it.
It was white.
Yes.
You remember?
Yes, I do.
Oh gosh, I remember that. So from 1998 till now,
Yep.
you're teaching. What else are you doing?
Oh, gosh, I do so much. I'm a private voice teacher also.
Yeah.
Of course, after I graduated my undergrad, I taught voice. That's all I did. And some years later, I went to work. I went full-time, thinking that I would work, maybe 10 years, 10
Yeah,
years.
and you're still doing
I'm
it.
still doing it.
Full-time voice, teaching voice?
No. This is my classroom teaching job.
Your classroom?
Yeah.
Well,
And I teach
full-time.
voice a couple of days after school. and I'll do that after I'm not working anymore. It's
If
a lot of
somebody out
fun.
there would be like to have voice lessons,
Yep.
is there an age group barrier boundary here?
Kids of all ages now are taking voice lessons. I feel that you really can't get into the nitty-gritty of a voice until the voice changes.
Okay.
So after they go through puberty. But there's a lot of young kids that come for lessons, and you can work
Yeah,
with them and
you
teach
can.
them, how to breathe in correctly and how to assure that they're not setting up singing with tension and whatnot.
Yeah, I've heard about that. That if you breathe more deeply or something, it's better.
Well, yeah, to breathe, you have to use your breath differently
Mhm.
in singing than you do in speaking. So you have to, it's very involved.
I think it's called projection. My mom used to tell me, you project your voice when you're going to give the speech.
Yeah.
Come from
Yeah.
somewhere else.
Yeah.
Now, Artist in Residence, what's that program?
Wachusett High School has a wonderful program. They have an after-school program that's geared. It's geared more towards the kids that are in the honors classes there, the music honors classes. They have to audition for, and kids that get into those classes, they are required to take lessons. So some years ago, the high school set up a program in which kids could take lessons from teachers that came and taught at the high school.
Yeah.
High school has wonderful studios, and so you can take lessons in voice, piano, bass, any kind of instrument that you would want to.
It's called Tempo, Wachusett Regional High School Music Department and Tempo to encourage music performance opportunities. TEMPO.
Right.
Did you think of that, or did they?
No. That was long before me.
Your lessons cover vocal technique, repertoire, musicianship, and sight reading. What's that?
Sight reading is the ability to look at a piece of music. Say you were to give me a piece of music and wanted me to sing it for you.
Yeah.
I'd look it over a little bit, see what notes it starts on, see what key it's in, see what the notes are, and then try it and sing
That's it. Have
Yeah.
you noticed we've had one or two groups on here. Ukuleles are really getting
Yeah.
popular now.
They are.
Especially with the senior set.
Yep.
Do you get into that at all?
I do play ukulele. The kids in my my day job, they're a little too young, and it's a whole classroom. I don't have ukuleles. I have one ukulele, but I wouldn't have the ability to each of them have a ukulele. But some of the older kids are learning it. It's a cool little instrument.
Yeah, I remember to film the show, we traveled, I forgot what town it was. Up past Sudbury, I don't know. And I was amazed. It was a senior center. And I thought, well, it'd be a couple people, Oh my God, the room was filled with them. And they were just looking at the simple,
Yeah.
I took piano and guitar, so I knew a little bit what they were doing.
Yep.
Dub, 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 dub. It was simple, but they loved it.
Yeah.
I think we've got one up in Milford, closer. Why they're popping? Why this sudden interest? When I was a little girl, I got a ukulele.
Yeah, I think it's an easier instrument to learn. If you can learn a few chords, you can play,
You can play it.
easily enough. And I think
Yeah, it's sort of
just-
like minor guitar, kind of like
yeah.
we're talking with Mancini Gough, and she's a vocalist from Paxton.
Yep.
Now, the beauty of this program that you're doing at Wachusett is, I gotta read this, is that it's for anybody in the community that wants to take music lessons. Now, if you're here in Upton or wherever and you want to go over there,
I want to hike over there from here.
Well, if you're there, they want to see you. Why not, right?
Sure.
Just don't get lost, right? You said, although I work with all different ages, I tend to have quite a few of the kids who are in honor classes at Wachusett High. They need to audition and be a certain level to go into those programs. Now, if it was somebody from, what's near Paxton? Well, Worcester.
I'm right on the other side of Worcester, right up the hill.
How many kids are is it basically Paxton students, or do you have them from...
No, it's actually, Wachusett is a big district. It's 5 towns.
Yeah.
And the kids that are taking the honors classes at Wachusett, they are plugged in first.
Yeah.
But it's really open to anybody that is interested in taking lessons.
What's the time period? Do they have to come during the day?
It's after school. I think the first classes lessons start at 2:30
Okay.
and go until 8:30 or whatnot.
What's the fee?
Oh, it's very in to enable kids to be able to afford to take lessons.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of families can't. They want to. It's even sports or music or
Yeah.
whatever. They can't afford
Yep.
this.
Yep.
At 20, that's doable. Very
Yeah,
doable.
it is.
I think you could come up with that.
Yeah, it is. And so it's nice. The program is nice there for the teachers because, we don't have to have students in and out of your own home.
Right.
You don't have to rent a studio space. You don't have to set up your own recital. You don't have to get your own students. So there's a lot of perks. It's not as much money as I used to see when I used to have my studio in my home.
Yeah.
But I'm just wanting to keep my house to myself and go out and teach. So
What does your family think about what you do?
oh, they're good with it.
They like it.
Oh, sure.
Do you do recitals for yourself?
I haven't done one in a long time, but I used to do a lot of recitals and concerts.
I know
and
when my
things.
parents, oh God, I don't know, 4 or 5 years of piano. I was pretty good at it, but I was getting bored practicing. That's the kiss of death with me. If I'm getting bored, it's all over. So I remember the recitals. Boy, that was a big deal. Mrs. Mosier in Springfield, I grew up in Wilbraham.
Mhm.
Oh my God, she was a perfectionist.
Well,
You will put your hands this
yeah.
way on the keys and this,
Mhm.
and I did have to practice.
Mhm.
Remember those books, Thompson is,
Yes,
are those still out?
they are. John Thompson
John
method.
Thompson.
Yeah.
That's how I learned.
Yeah.
There was the beginner one.
Right.
It's kind of shaped like this. Then there's the normal regular one, like this. I thought, oh, I've graduated. But the practicing. Then finally, when I hit my early teens, I wanted a guitar.
Yeah.
So I went. That didn't last too long. It was okay.
Yeah.
But I went. But then I lost
Yeah.
the interest in it. And
Well,
then
that
you
happens
kept it
a
up.
lot.
You kept it up, though.
Yeah.
Now, what would you suggest to the young people around that might be interested in this? Which way should they go after high school?
As far as what?
Doing what you do, the vocalist, the
If they want to
teaching.
be serious about
Yeah.
it as their
Yeah,
career?
definitely.
Oh boy. I would say get as much information as you can early on about just what each field entails. When I was in high school, I didn't realize. I knew that you could become a music teacher, but I didn't know what else was available. And I think the hardest. I see a lot of people, a lot of friends of mine who teach primarily privately, and it's hard to make money in the long run. So one of the reasons that I went into teaching, I teach public school music is it's steady and you have a pension and whatnot. So I would say find out as much as you can about what each area of working as a musician entails.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to become a teacher, find out about it. Go and go back to your high school or see if you can go back and sit in on music classes and see what actually goes on.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of other areas that you can go into also. Nowadays you can go into music therapy.
I was just going to say, yeah.
You can go into music therapy and using music in a therapeutic setting.
Yeah.
And Anna Maria has a great program
For therapy, music
therapy. I think Berkeley has one too. So there's not a lot of them, but I know those two have programs.
Do you have to have graduated or be a student at Anna Maria with all the other classes like history and math? Or
Of course. No,
you
of
gotta-
course. You have to. It's like any other thing that you're majoring in. You have to take your American Lit or Literature 101 or whatever. Of course, it's like a regular bachelor's degree. But the music therapy is you're a therapist, so
Yeah.
you're studying psychology and all that a therapist would.
Mancini, have you ever had any thought that you might like to maybe go into senior like respite places and things like that, nursing homes, Alzheimer's units? Have you ever thought of, with your skill, going in there and actually working with them too?
I used to do that a long time ago. I actually, there was a company, they were out of Falmouth, I think, and they used to not sponsor, but they used to, you were a freelancer, but they would get you leads to different nursing homes and things like that. And
Yeah.
there was a whole program I used to go in and do, and I did that for a while, but it's at that point in time,
It's challenging.
it's challenging. It's challenging, and I did it for a while, and then I did it probably for a couple of years, and then.
Not so much.
But I think that was before I was teaching full time. So it was, so I.
Even children in, like at UMass, they have almost like a private hospital, the Children's Hospital at UMass. Things like that. Kids who are there, or they're in treatment, or maybe up in Boston, the Children's. I can see people going up there with their DP.
Right. And I don't know if music therapists are being used in hospital settings. I think they are. I don't really know
They should
enough
be.
of it. Yeah.
Just like art fun,
Yep.
Definitely. What was your favorite of all the things you've done, though? What in your mind sticks like, I really loved it?
Oh, it has to be the performance.
Performing.
That's
There's a beautiful
the most
picture
fun.
of you. You were, I love this picture of you. But now this one shows you performing somewhere. I forgot which one it was. Here it is.
In the red.
Where were you?
That was taken at Nick's in Worcester, which is a little spot down on Millbury Street in Worcester.
Yeah.
And that's where it was taken.
What were you singing?
I wasn't singing anything. I was just having a photo shoot done.
Yeah. Do you happen to know, they're on the Worcester WTAG. Oh, I can't think of his name. Woo Woo. He does this woo woo thing. He's a guy that sings. Oh, I can't think of in the Manhattans.
Oh, yes. Yep.
He's a sketch.
Yep.
Yep.
Gets himself around, yeah.
Yes, he does, and he usually has a gal that sings with him. They'll change the CFC and they host the show together.
Okay.
So, but you haven't been on that yet, right?
No.
Have you been on television yet?
Not there. I've been on this station downtown Worcester, Mauro di Pasquale.
Oh,
The station.
I had my own show on WCCA.
Yep.
Yeah, I have my own show down there. Yeah, Mauro has something going on of his own. I'm not sure what it is now. I see it in the newspaper.
Yep.
He's there too. Now, you're in Paxton. How far are you willing to travel if somebody, let's just say somebody got in touch with you and said, I really want to learn. I mean, would they have to come to you, or would you be willing?
I won't travel.
You won't travel, okay.
Not unless they want to pay me a lot of money.
Even if it was just to Worcester, right? Okay.
No. I would. They can either come to me at the high school, or they can come to me at my house. But it would be a lot more than what I'm getting at the high school.
So if somebody, maybe any age group, as long as they were like at least by the age of puberty, their voice is changing. If they came to you by that period, up until whatever, 90 something,
Yep.
they could still come to your class at Wachusett?
They can go there. I'm only there a couple of days a week, and if I would entertain people coming to the house again, if there was enough demand, I guess.
You really think so? How can they reach you, Mancini?
You can go to my website. I have a page on my website pertaining to lessons, and they can punch in their information and just send it to me.
Mancini Go, Gough. Mancini, and you're based in Paxton. Where have you been appearing besides Nick's? Well, you had your photo shoot.
Yeah, that was a number of years ago. I have a couple of things coming up. I'm going to be on July 28th. I'll be out in Leicester at the Castle Restaurant. They have a summer jazz patio series, jazz on the patio series.
Do you know what dates you're going to be there?
The July 28th. It's on a Sunday.
It's coming up.
Yep. And then I have another engagement on August 12th out in Westboro at the Shangdu,
What's that?
which is it's on Route 9. It's the Chinese restaurant, the big restaurant on Route 9.
Up past.
Chengdu.
Is it heading more into Northborough?
It's let's see. It's on the westbound side of Route 9.
Past Walmart.
It's down near. I don't know what it's next to.
And you're going to be there when?
August 10th on a Saturday evening, 8 to 11.
8 to 11.
Yeah.
And you'll be singing what songs?
I'll be singing jazz. All
All
different
jazz.
types of
Have
jazz.
you appeared at all over at the Asa Waters Mansion in Millbury? They just had. We attended a kind of a little dinner festival over there, and because we had the director of Asa Waters on here, and the woman they had, which was very good. I think it was considered jazz.
Yep.
You know. And it's okay. I like jazz. It's all right. I don't think I could take 3 or 4 hours of it.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's not. Let me clarify that. It's not jazz. It's what we call American Songbook. And basically, American Songbook is popular song dating back to even the 1920s.
Yeah.
And so we call it jazz because it's was basically music that was borrowed from, you know, early musicals, music of George Gershwin, and it was borrowed and brought into jazz. So jazz and it's kind of entwined.
Yeah.
But
Were you into the big band era? You're too young for that. My father was into the big bands. Oh, he'd turn that up in the living room and be blasting everybody out. And he'd be conducting the orchestra.
oh,
Loved it. Did your parents like that?
oh sure,
They did,
very
right?
much so.
Are your parents still with it?
No, they're
not.
gone.
They're gone.
Yeah.
So your children are they millennials? Or are they a little older than?
Yeah, my son is a little over that, but certainly my daughter.
And you said that two sons and a daughter.
One son, one daughter.
One son. They're not. Are they musical at all? Oh.
Well, my son took piano lessons as a little guy,
Yeah.
and he just wouldn't practice.
Yeah.
And after
It
so
gets
many weeks,
boring.
I said, "You're done."
Yeah.
And my daughter played clarinet in elementary school up through middle school, and she didn't continue.
She didn't care about it.
No.
How about their father? Was he musical? Your
No,
husband?
not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
You were the star. Well, we've got about just a few minutes to wrap it up. We've been talking with Mancini Gough. Beautiful name. Gough. Is that French or what is that?
That's actually my husband's name. It's actually trying to figure this out over the years. It's a Scottish name.
Well, I should know that. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm Scottish.
you're Scottish, yeah.
Yeah.
My husband had good friends in Ireland, and his friends said, "Your name is not German or whatever; it's
No.
Scottish."
I wonder how
So,
they figured that one. That one I
Yeah.
never would have guessed.
yeah.
No, never would. And she's a vocalist from Paxton. And before we close, if you have any questions for her, you can reach her at her website. One more time, how can they get to it?
It's www.jeanmancinigoff.com, and there's all kinds of information on there. You can listen to my singing in different styles, and classical and jazz, and there's all kinds of things
Any
on there.
holiday gigs coming up?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
So
yet.
you've got the end of this month
Yep.
and August
10th.
10th.
Middle of the month.
That'll be fun.
Mhm.
You looking
Yeah.
forward to it?
Oh, sure.
Do you get nervous, or is it just so much fun you don't get nervous?
I don't really get nervous anymore.
Yeah, I know.
No.
When I used to do a television show in Grafton, one of the young guys that had a show there with him, he said to me, you're not nervous? Well then, what's something wrong with you? I'm like, why would I get nervous if it's something I really enjoy?
Right.
Now, if I had to go have an operation, yeah, I'm going to be nervous, but no, not at all. He thought that there's something wrong with you if you don't get nervous.
Well, after you do something for so long,
Yeah.
you figure out how to deal with that. It
Well,
just
yeah, you meet so many
doesn't,
people.
Right.
I'm more interested in what they're telling me.
Right.
I don't really have time to get nervous.
Right.
My guests can be nervous. That's okay. That's why I'm here to help them out. But
Right.
not. I never got over that. I thought,
Right.
what is wrong with you?
I think the hardest thing for me in performing, especially performing jazz, because you're so close to people, is sometimes thinking, do they like this or do they not like this? It's hard
Watch
to
your audience.
Yeah, and then sometimes you have to just say, oh well, hopefully they do, and if they don't, oh well, this is what it
not
is.
yours.
This is what it is.
Thank you, Mancini, for being with us.
Sure.
Good luck on your gigs coming up.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you next time and be
Okay.
my guest.
Thank you.